power take.
Brad Marcus Morris is available for tonight.
Go with the same lineup tonight?
Yep.
Brad, how have these changes that Ibaka has made for them in terms of it seems like he's just kind of really taking the Kawhi being there and flourished.
Yeah, I mean, he's and whether he starts or comes off the bench, depending on who they're playing against, I think he's been really good all year. I would say that he's been probably even more in the paint than the last couple of years. He's rolling, he's posting, he's rebounding, he's doing all those things that really make you pay for switching. And he's had a great start to his year, as have a number of their players. They're really off to a great start.
Brad, you mentioned how they're changing lineups up a bit, and that's something I know you've done in the past. That's something coaches in the past have been a little hesitant to do, like kind of having players kind of wanted to be in a certain spot in the rotation, kind of know what they're doing. Is that what are the challenges to kind of having things shift a little bit on a game-to-game basis?
Well, I don't, we've played them twice, so you prepare with what their latest trends are and everything else. But the one spot that seems to change for them based on the matchup is Valanciunas or Ibaka. Everything else seems pretty standard or night to night what they're looking to do, especially as Siakam's continued to emerge and ascend here. But I think it all depends on how it's communicated and the people, and Nick obviously has done a great job with this group, and these guys are all in to playing the right way and playing together, and I think ultimately that's what it's about. And when you get to the playoffs, it's the way it's got to be anyways.
Yeah.
And so it makes total sense to start it early.
Brad, how are you kind of melding your team together? I couldn't help but hear your comment when you were out west about this team isn't very well coached right now, and kind of saying it falls on you. How are you kind of working through that and trying to put things together?
Just coming to work every day with what we need to accomplish. I think if you look at our team heading into the year, or maybe at the end of last year, I thought that as far as controlling the controllables, playing at our utmost from an effort standpoint, and being totally locked in on what we wanted to do on both ends, we were pretty good.
Yeah.
And everything else, we had our moments. We haven't been as good at those things yet, and we will be.
How much of that is due to, obviously, the reintegrating personnel?
No, I said it earlier. It's due to I'll do better. That's on coaching.
You said the other day that was a back to basics practice. How important was it to kind of have a little bit of a reset, maybe a few weeks into the season, and start to have the sample size of what's going away and what's not?
I'm looking forward to those 2 5-day stints we have, where we have, I think we have a back-to-back, and then we have 4 or 5 days, and then we have another one where we have 4 or 5 days. Anytime you get a chance to practice like that, I think that's really good stuff, because if you focus on the right things, it allows you to get back to who you are, or who you want to be. And so, hopefully we'll get those opportunities and take advantage of those opportunities. In the meantime, we get a chance to do that when we play against teams like this. If we don't, then we'll get beat.
Brad, there's so much focus on what Jason brings offensively, obviously the numbers and whatnot, but how have you evaluated his growth as a defensive player this year and year 2?
I mean, I think ever since he got here, the cat's out of the bag. He could be a really good defender. He can trail screens, he can challenge shots, he's super long, he can direct the ball in pick and roll, he can guard bigger because of his length, so guard smaller because of his length. I mean, our coaches sometimes will get in drills and they always talk about guys that are surprising about how much you can feel their presence, and he's one of them, because just how much ground he can cover with his arms.
So I would say Siakam fits that bill a little bit too. You saw a glimpse last year of what he could do. What have you seen this year?
I mean, Siakam, Anunoby, Leonard, now these guys are super athletes that are long and extremely versatile, extremely hard playing. I think this is a heck of a team. And I think on both ends of the court they play to those guys' strengths. Like Siakam's great at busting out in transition and leading the break. He's great at running the floor, but he's also been really good you know, in spot-up situations and in cutting off of others. Anunoby, same thing. And then Leonard's obviously Leonard. He's just, he's outstanding. Thanks.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.